Hello everybody, welcome back to the lecture on Applied Electromagnetic Theory. Myself, Shyama Srikumar, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology. Today we will be continuing with the lecture on electrostatics. Topics covered in today's lecture will be Poisson's and Laplace equation and how to determine electric field and potential in different coordinate systems using Poisson and Laplace equation. Poisson's and Laplace equation is a commonly used equation in electrostatics so as to determine field, potential, etc. So, for the derivation of Poisson's and Laplace equation, we are considering a linear isotropic material. So, if you mean isotropic means that the properties will be identical in all directions. According to Gauss law, we know that del dot D is equal to rho V, where D is the electric flux density and rho V is the volume charge density. Now here we are having the electric flux density. So substitute D equal to epsilon E. So del dot epsilon E is equal to rho V. Mark it as equation 1. Now here E equal to minus del V. So substituting E equal to minus del V here we get del dot epsilon minus del V is equal to rho V. So this equation is called as the Poisson's equation for an inhomogeneous or non-homogeneous medium. It is called as an inhomogeneous medium that epsilon is inside the del operator, and this epsilon will not be a constant or uniform if we are considering a non-homogeneous or inhomogeneous medium. So this is the Poisson's equation for an inhomogeneous medium. Now we are extending that derivation into a homogeneous medium. So if you consider the homogeneous medium, permittivity will remain as a constant throughout the medium. So we can take epsilon outside the del operator. So the equation changes to minus epsilon del dot del V, it is equal to rho V. When you take the divergence of the gradient of a scalar, it is as said as it is del square V, and this is equal to minus rho V by epsilon. Therefore, this equation is called as the Poisson's equation for an homogeneous medium. Del square V is equal to minus rho V by epsilon. That is, we are taking the second derivatives of say scalar parameter. Now, if we extend into Laplace equation, this rho V, which is the volume charge density, is considered as 0. Then we will get del square V equal to 0, and this is called as the Laplace equation for an homogeneous medium. Now we have seen the general Laplace equation, that is del square V is equal to 0. So the general expression for Laplacian of a scalar, that is del square V, is given by 1 by h1 h2 h3 dou by dou u of h2 h3 by h1 dou v by dou u plus dou by dou v of h1 h3 by h2 dou v by dou v plus dou by dou w of h1 h2 by h3 dou v by dou w. So if you substitute the corresponding values of u, v, w for the different coordinate systems, we will get the expressions as dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square plus dou square v by dou z square equal to 0 for the Cartesian coordinate system. For cylindrical, h1, h2, h3 is 1 rho 1. So on substituting that, you will get 1 by dou rho of rho dou v by rho plus 1 by rho square dou square v by dou phi square plus dou square v by dou z square equal to 0. Similarly, we'll get the expression for spherical coordinate system. So if you study the general expression, we can get the expression in any coordinate system. Now, what is the use of this Laplace and Poisson's equation? It is mainly used to find the potential at any point which is between two surfaces, and you will be given with the potential on the surfaces. That is, using the equation del square V equal to 0, we can solve that equation to find V. Also, if you got the value of V, we can use it to find the electric field intensity. Also, it can be extended to find the capacitance between any two surfaces. Now, we'll see the general procedure in solving the Poisson's and Laplace equation. So, we have got the equation del square V equal to 0. This equation can be solved either using direct integration if V is a function of only one variable, or we should separate the variable if V is a function of more than one variable. Now, after getting the solution, it will have certain unknowns called as the integration constants. So, for determining the value of integration constants, we'll apply the boundary conditions. So, on applying it, we'll get a unique solution for V. Now, if you got the value of V, you can find E using E equal to minus del V, and flux density is determined as D equal to epsilon E. Now, to find the charge, we are using the boundary condition rho s equal to dn. That is, if we are having a conductor dielectric boundary, the normal component of flux density is equal to charge density. So, if we get the value of rho s and multiply it with the area, we will get the total charge Q. And finally, we can find the capacitance using the equation C equal to Q by V. Now we'll see how to determine E and V using Laplace equation in different coordinate systems. So first, we'll consider Cartesian coordinate system. So Cartesian coordinate system means it is in X, Y, Z. So here we are taking two parallel plates which is located at X equal to 0 and X equal to D. So the separation between the plates is given by D. The boundary condition means that this plate at x equal to 0 is having a potential 0, and at x equal to d it is having a potential V0. Now we know since it is in Cartesian coordinate system, the Laplace equation is given by dou square V by dou x square plus dou square V by dou y square plus dou square V by dou z square equal to 0. Since the potential is varying only with respect to x because the plate is lying on the x-axis. So the terms dou square v by dou y square and dou square v by dou z square is equal to 0. Hence, the potential will be having the equation dou square v by dou x square equal to 0. So this equation can be solved by integrating with respect to x. So you will get while integrating dou v by dou x is equal to a. Now to solve for v, again integrating with respect to x, we will get it as v equal to ax plus b, where a and b are called as the integration constants. So now we have got the equation v equal to ax plus b. So we'll apply the boundary condition, that is we'll substitute x equal to 0 and x equal to d, and corresponding potential is given by v equal to 0 and v equal to v0. So substituting the first condition x equal to 0, v equal to 0 into this equation, we will get b equal to 0. Now when you consider the second condition x equal to d and v equal to v0, we will get v0 equal to ad plus b. Since b is 0 already, we will get a equal to v0 by d. Thus, we have got the general expression for potential as V0 by d into x, where d is the separation between the plates and V0 is the potential of the plate located at x equal to d. So now we got V equal to V0 by d into x, the function of potential. Now to find electric field intensity, we'll use the expression E equal to minus del V. Now, since it is in Cartesian coordinate system and potential is only a function of x, then the expression for gradient is minus dou v by dou x ax cap plus dou v by dou y ay cap plus dou v by dou z az cap. These two terms will be zero since the potential varies only with respect to x. Therefore, electric field intensity is minus v0 by d into ax cap. That is, potential is a function which is having a magnitude of v0 by d, and it will be in the x direction. Now, when you consider flux density D, it is given by epsilon E. So on substituting, D will get minus epsilon B0 by D AX cap. So according to the boundary conditions, we know that if you are having a dielectric conductor boundary, that is this plate will act as a conductor and this is the medium between them is a dielectric. At the dielectric conductor boundary, the normal component of flux density will be equal to the surface charge density. You already know the tangential component will be 0, so the normal component of flux density is equal to charge density. So we have seen already the value of dn to be minus epsilon v0 by d ax cap. So when you consider charge density, it is having only a magnitude. So we'll take the magnitude of flux density. So we'll get it as epsilon v0 by d. Now to find total charge q, we should multiply it with the area. So q is integral over rho s ds. If you consider the area between the plates to be S, then this equation reduces to epsilon E0 by D into S. So we have got the charge Q. Now capacitance C is given by C equal to Q by V. Thus, we will get it as epsilon S by D, where S is the area between the two plates. The same as the expression for parallel plate capacitance, which you already know. Thus, we have derived the same expression with the help of Poisson's and Laplace equation. We derived the electric field, potential, etc. for Cartesian coordinate system using Poisson's and Laplace equation. Now, we'll derive it for cylindrical coordinate system. So, we will consider a coaxial cable as an example. So, coaxial cable consists of two sets of cylinder, an inner cylinder and an outer cylinder. So, these forms the conductor. And between them, we are having dielectric medium. So, inner conductor is having a potential of V0 and it is having a radius A. And outer conductor is having a potential 0 and a radius B. So when you consider potential, it is directed from higher potential to lower potential. So the field which is coming out, it will be directed from the inner conductor to the outer conductor. And when you see the variation of potential, it is a function of only rho. So the Laplace equation in cylindrical coordinate system is given by this equation 1 by rho dou by dou rho of rho dou v by dou rho plus 1 by rho square dou square v by dou phi square plus dou square v by dou z square equal to 0. Now when you consider this case, the potential is only a function of rho. So the second and third term turns out to be 0. So it can be written as 1 by rho dou by dou rho of rho dou v by dou rho equal to 0. Now on solving this equation, that is, we'll integrate with respect to rho. Now this rho will be cancelled with the 0. So we'll get rho dou v by dou rho is equal to A. And this is same as dou v by dou rho is equal to A by rho. Now integrating it once more, 1 by rho on integrating we'll get it as ln rho. So v will be equal to A ln rho plus B, where A and B are the integration constants. We got the expression as v equal to A ln rho plus B. Now we know the boundary condition v equal to v0 at rho equal to A and v equal to 0 at rho equal to B. Substituting the conditions, first v equal to v0 at rho equal to A, we will get the equation v0 equal to A ln A plus B. The second boundary condition is that v equal to 0 at rho equal to B, so we will get 0 equal to A ln B plus B. So we have got two equations in terms of two constants A and B. Solving these two equations, we will get the value of A as V0 into ln A by B and B is equal to minus V0 ln B by ln A by B. Substituting it back into the expression for V, we will get V is equal to V0 ln rho by B divided by ln A by B. So this is the expression for potential, which is only a function of rho. Now we got the expression for V as V0 into ln rho by B by ln A by B. Now we are finding the electric field intensity using the equation E equal to minus del V. So we need to take the gradient equation in cylindrical coordinate system. Since the potential is only a function of rho, we can take only the first term. So it is minus dou V by dou rho into A rho cap. On differentiating this term with respect to rho, you will get minus V0 by ln A by B into derivative of ln rho by B is 1 by rho by B into 1 by B. Thus, the electric field intensity is obtained as V0 by rho ln B by A into A rho cap. This negative sign inverts the coefficients inside the natural log operator. Now we got E and flux density D is equal to epsilon E. Therefore, it is equal to epsilon V0 by rho ln B by A into A rho cap. Next, we'll apply the boundary conditions to find the total charge. So we know dN is equal to rho s. So the charge density is found by the magnitude of normal component of flux density. So when you take the magnitude, you will get it as epsilon V0 by rho ln B by A. This is the total surface charge density. Now, if you know the surface charge density, to find the total charge Q, we need to integrate rho s with respect to ds. So while integrating rho s with respect to ds, we need to find the total area which is along the rho direction. That is, the field lines are radiated radially. So we need to find the area along rho direction. So along rho direction, the area is given by rho d phi dz. So we'll take the expression for rho s and multiply it with ds. So the range of phi, since it is forming the entire cylindrical structure, phi will be varying from 0 to 2 pi and z 0 to L, which is the length of the coaxial cable. Now, when you cancel out rho, the remaining terms is epsilon V0 by ln B by A, and on integrating it, we will get Q to be 2 pi epsilon V0 L divided by ln B by A. So we have got the total charge Q. Now, the capacitance C is given by Q by V, which is equal to 2 pi epsilon L divided by ln B by A. This is the expression for capacitance in the case of a coaxial cable. Now we'll consider the case of spherical coordinate system as well. So we are having a set of two spherical concentric spheres. So the inner conductor is a sphere of radius A and potential V0, and the outer conductor is of radius B and potential 0. So similarly, the field lines will be radiated from the inner conductor to the outer conductor. These are the two conductors and the region between them is dielectric. So we are considering the spherical coordinate system. The Laplace equation is given by this. Since the potential varies only with respect to r, the second and third term turns out to be 0. Therefore, we'll get it as 1 by r square dou by dou r square dou v by dou r equal to 0. Now this 1 by r square can be brought to RHS. So we are solving the equation dou by dou r square dou v by dou r equal to 0. On integrating with respect to r, we will get r square dou v by dou r equal to a, which is the integration constant. Hence, dou v by dou r is equal to a by r square. Now integrating it once more, the integral of 1 by r square is minus 1 by r. Thus, we will get the potential V as minus a by r plus b. So we got the expression for potential as V equal to minus a by r plus b. Now we are applying the two boundary conditions, that is V equal to V0 at r equal to a and V equal to 0 at r equal to b. On substituting the first condition, we will get it as V0 equal to minus capital A by small a plus b. Now capital A and capital B are the integration constants which we are trying to solve. Now the second condition is V equal to 0 and R equal to B. So we will get 0 equal to minus A by B plus B. We are trying to solve these two equations to find the value of capital A and capital B. Hence, we will get capital A as V0 by 1 by B minus 1 by A, and B is equal to V0 A by A minus B. So we will substitute these values into the expression for potential. Hence, we will get V as V0 by 1 by A minus 1 by B into 1 by R minus 1 by B. So this is the expression for potential, and it is a function of the radius R. We got the potential V as V0 by 1 by A minus 1 by B into 1 by R minus 1 by B. Now, the electric field intensity E is equal to minus del V. Since this potential is only a function of R, we need to consider only the gradient with respect to R. So it is minus dou V by dou R into AR. On taking the derivative with respect to R, we will get it as V0 by 1 by A minus 1 by B into R square AR cap. So this is the expression for electric field intensity. Now on finding the electric flux density D, it is equal to epsilon E. Therefore D equal to epsilon V0 by 1 by A minus 1 by B into R square AR cap. So here we are having two conductors which are separated by a dielectric medium. Hence, we know that the normal component of flux density is equal to the surface charge density. Hence, the magnitude of electric flux density will give us the value of rho s. So, rho s is equal to epsilon V0 by 1 by A minus 1 by B into R square. Now, to find the total charge Q, we will integrate it with respect to the area. So we will find Q as integral rho s ds. Now, in which direction we should take the area is determined by the direction of field lines. So it is in the AR cap direction. So we need to take the area along R direction. So we will multiply it with R square sine theta d theta d phi. And when you consider the spherical coordinate system, the range of theta is from 0 to pi, and range of phi is from 0 to 2 pi. On substituting the corresponding values, we will get the total charge Q to be 4 pi epsilon V0 by 1 by A minus 1 by B. So that is the total charge contained within the conductors. Now, the capacitance C is given by Q by V. Hence, we'll get it as 4 pi epsilon by 1 by A minus 1 by B. That is the value of the capacitance between two spherical conductors. We will conclude this lecture on Poisson's and Laplace equation. In this lecture, we discuss the Poisson's Laplace equation, which is given by del square V equal to 0, and we use this expression to determine the value of potential, field intensity, capacitance, etc. in different coordinate systems. Thank you.